The strange thing about getting older is that nobody notices when you slowly start opting out of life. It doesn't happen dramatically. You just stop doing the little things. You stop walking as much, stop going places, stop bothering, and start saying, I'm too tired, just a little bit more often than you probably should do. And after a few years, your whole life gets smaller without you even realising it. So good morning. I hope you're doing really well. Hope you're having a great day. Now look, I'm 65 and I'm not pretending that I'm young. I'm not. I know exactly what age feels like. But after 22 years in the army and another 25 years working, I've realised something. Most people don't suddenly become old. They slowly become inactive. And there's a difference. Now, I'm Dave, and this is the Over 65 Reset. I honestly think that one of the most dangerous phrases in the world is, I can't be bothered. Because it sounds harmless, doesn't it? And sometimes it is harmless. But if that sentence becomes your default setting, life can change very quickly. You stop going for walks because the weather's bad, or you stop training because you're a bit tired, or you stop going out because staying at home just feels easier, doesn't it? And the frightening bit is how quickly resting turns into existing. I see it all the time. People retire and at first they love it. No alarms, no pressure, no responsibility. And then 6 months later, they barely leave the house. And look, I understand it because comfort is addictive, especially when you're older. The sofa becomes easier than the movement. Routine disappears, and days blur together. And before long, you're simply watching life go by instead of living it. That's the bit that nobody talks about. People hear the word army and they automatically think shouting, aggression, toughness. Honestly, the biggest thing that the army gave me, I believe, was reliability. You learned very quickly that how you felt didn't really matter most of the time. You're cold, you cracked on. Wet, crack on. Tired, guess what? Crack on. Not because anybody was trying to be cruel to us, because life still moves whether you feel motivated or not. And I actually think that modern life has gone too far the other way now. Everything's based around feelings. If you don't feel like it, don't do it. Protect your energy. Listen to yourself. Now, sometimes that's absolutely the right thing to do. I agree. But sometimes you also need to ignore the voice in your head telling you to stay comfortable. Because comfort can wreck people, especially over time. And at 65, I've realised something really important. The days I least want to move are usually the days that I most need to. The one thing I've noticed with ageing is this. People don't usually lose independence all at once. They lose it in layers. First you stop walking those longer distances, then stairs become annoying, and carrying things becomes difficult. And then you stop going certain places because parking's too far away. Tiny little retreats. That's how it starts. And every retreat makes the next one feel a little bit easier. And that's why I still force myself outdoors every single day. Not because I enjoy every single minute of it, I don't. Sometimes I absolutely hate it. Sometimes it's freezing cold blowing a gale, chucking it down with rain, and I'd much rather sit indoors with a nice hot cup of coffee. But I know something dangerous happens when sitting still becomes your normal state. You become hesitant. Everything feels like effort. Even small tasks feel like they're getting bigger than they are. And mentally, that affects people more than they realise, because movement isn't just physical. Movement keeps your mind alive as well, and that is just so important. I genuinely think that some people massively underestimate retirement. Not financially, but mentally. Because work gives people structure. Whether or not they realise it is irrelevant, but it does. You get up, you go somewhere, you interact with people, and your brain has problems to solve along the way. And suddenly one day, all of that disappears. And if you don't replace it with something meaningful, life can very quickly become empty. I've seen it happen. People sit down for a bit of a rest after retirement and they never really get going again. Days become a mixture of television, cups of tea, and simply waiting for bedtime. That terrifies me. Not retirement itself, I'm so looking forward to that, but becoming passive. That's why even now I'm building routines that I can carry forward. Walking, gym, fitness, videos, photography, getting outdoors. Not because I'm desperately trying to stay busy, because human beings need a purpose. Specifically, old people. Because without purpose, people fade fast. So here's the thing. I think this is probably the harsh truth that a lot of people try to avoid. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to force you to look after yourself. Nobody's coming to drag you outside. Nobody's coming to magically restore your fitness or your energy. At some point, you either decide to keep participating in your own life or you slowly withdraw from it. And the withdrawal is subtle. That's what makes it dangerous. It's not dramatic. You just slowly do less, move less, experience less, expect less from yourself, until eventually your comfort zone becomes your entire world. And honestly, I think a lot of older people become old long before they actually need to. And it's not because of age, because they stopped engaging with life. And that's a huge difference. Now, as I've said previously, I'm 65 years old now, headed towards 66. And I know that I'm in the final third of my life. And I'm completely realistic about that. But I've got absolutely no interest in sitting around waiting for life to happen to me. I still want to walk, still want to train, still want to make videos, still want to build things, still want experience, and I still want conversations. Because I genuinely believe the quickest way to age is to stop participating. And maybe that's what this channel is really all about. It's not pretending we're young, but refusing to mentally fade before we absolutely have to. So if this made sense to you, stick around, and whatever you do next, don't slow down. Come on, girls.